Hello, scholars. It's Ms. Sheridan, and I am making this video to show you how to use Flipgrid to record your book talk and also how to record the screen of the slides you make to present during this book talk. So the first thing you'll do is when you click the Flipgrid link, you will be brought to this screen. You will join this topic by clicking continue with Google, log in with your school Google information, and then you'll be brought here and you will click record. And once you click record, you'll be brought to the recording screen. I'm already recording, as you can see. But when you go to the screen initially, the three dots here, if you click it, you'll have the option to record screen. Click record screen, and then a list of your tabs will be brought up. You're going to already have your slides open in a tab, and then you'll choose the tab, and you'll be ready to go. And you can just do a slideshow like I'm doing now. Welcome to my book talk on Lone Women by Victor Laval, published this year by Random House. So you may be asking yourself, why did you read this book, Miss Sheridan? Or maybe you're not, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I really like Victor Laval's books. He writes horror. He wrote a book called The Ballad of Black Tom and another book called The Changeling that I enjoyed very much. So when I went to the library after the last day of school before spring break, I saw his name on the jacket, so I picked it up and read the jacket description. And it seemed really interesting because it talks about lone women in American history, which I didn't know anything about. And it seems super creepy, and I'm a creep. And I checked it out. I was so excited that I tag tweeted him and the other author who I read, and he tweeted back. Yay! I feel so seen. I'm a nerd. So what is this book about? Set in Montana in 1915, Adelaide Henry is the protagonist. She's a black woman from California who moves to Montana to become a homesteader. And a homesteader, which you probably know from American history, is a person who will receive land from the federal government if they stay on the unsettled land and farm it for a few years. Adelaide's parents have just died. She's unmarried and in her late 20s, early 30s. At that point in time, that was considered a spinster, an unmarried woman for life. And she arrives in Montana alone. Or does she? She has a very heavy trunk that everybody has questions about. We don't really know how her parents died, and she seems afraid, so there's a lot of suspense right off the bat that's developed. Now, Montana in 1915 is very sparsely populated. It's not very highly populated right now, but 108 years ago, it's even less so. So the federal government really wants to get American citizens out there. And like I said before, any citizen is willing to move to a claim, which is measured off land that really has nothing going on there. And if they work the land to farm it and raise a crop, then the citizen will own that land after a period of time. What was interesting to me is that the law did not stipulate that the homesteader has to be male or white. So Adelaide is one of the quote unquote lone women who is taking a gamble to earn property. So there was a number of widowed women or even unmarried women and women of color who decided to become homesteaders. It's 1915. We know that's the Jim Crow era, and Adelaide understands that being a woman in the American West is dangerous. Being a black woman alone in the American West is a whole nother level of danger if there are people there who decide to enact Jim Crow laws. It doesn't help that she appears to have brought something or someone with her. So she is a stranger in a strange land with heavy baggage, literally and metaphorically. And she has a number of conflicts. So one, she's new in a place where the town is very small and the neighbors are spread out. So she feels like an outsider. She's a black woman living in a town with only one other black person. So that's another outsider element. So she has some individual versus society conflicts. She also really underestimates how bad the winters are in Montana. And that becomes a individual versus nature conflict. There's other conflicts that are spoilers. You'll have to read the book to find out. But her primary conflict is internal because she has to make a decision. she really wants to unburden herself of the secrets that made her leave Callie in the first place. But as Victor Laval writes, she knows that, quote, secrets, once revealed, are no longer secrets, no matter how tightly she tries to seal them away, unquote. That's from page 60. So she has to choose which is riskier, endangering her emotional and physical well being by revealing the secrets and dealing with consequences, or endangering other people by continuing to conceal these secrets. Thematically, this book reminded me a lot of The Love and Lies of Roxana Ali, because Adelaide understands the paradox, or the existence of two opposite and true ideas, that keeping secrets can at the same time protect a person from consequences they don't want to face and also damage a person's emotional well-being. Also reminiscent of Roxana is that Victor Laval suggests that untreated generational trauma has lasting and damaging effects. This is evident because the secret is something Adelaide didn't have on her own, but she inherited. It says that, quote, Adelaide Henry had a responsibility, one passed down from her parents. For her whole life, 31 years, she'd been preparing for this role, unquote. That's on page 52, as you can see. I loved this book. It was one of those books, it didn't take me long to read. It kind of captured my attention right away. It tingled my spine. It taught me an aspect of American history that's not widely taught. And it was emotionally moving. If you enjoy reading not students, wow. If you enjoy reading stories with complex characters, a lot of creepy suspense, some freaky violence, and historical fiction, then you should check this out at your local library. Highly recommend it. And thank you for coming to my book